When you think of your favorite Trippie Redd projects, what are the first ones that pop up in your mind? Some may say Love Letter to You 4, Love Letter to You 3, a lot of people say Life's a Trip, and there's many more Trippie fans that will even say his first Love Letter to You project. But what a lot of us commonly won't mention is his third studio album Pegasus, and there's many reasons why. With Trippie coming off a lot of success of his most recent project Love Letter to You 4 with a selling over 104K in the first week, he had a lot of momentum going into his next album, which would be called Pegasus, where he described that the album would take a dreamy, nostalgic outer space approach. He said his next album Pegasus would be way better than the Love Letter to You 4, and that it would take you from place to place as far as the genre goes. The whole goal was that. I was thinking next level.
Yeah, like you know how
can you make an album about
how the Pegasus was with Hercules and Percy Jackson and shit like that?
Yeah. Is that what
I mean, it's just a ride or die thing that was always there for the nigga.
That's fine.
So it symbolizes that.
Since A Love Letter to You 4 sold so well, he stated that the songs on the Pegasus album would be in a specific order, just like A Love Letter to You 4, with the love songs being first, deep songs in the middle, and hard songs at the end.
Love Letter to You 4 was sectioned into 3 parts: love, deep, and hardcore, like hard shit, you know what I'm saying? Like Dark Knight demo type shit. This album will follow that same script, with love being first, deep shit being the middle, and hard shit being the last. So it's a sectioned album. My albums are like that because I don't fall under one genre, so I want to give y'all different genres of music.
Trippie would also announce that on a deluxe it would be a whole rock album called Neon Shark, where he hinted back in March 2019 that he always wanted to drop a rock album, and with Pegasus as a deluxe they would finally get that.
The deluxe is going to be the rock album.
On May 15, 2020, the rollout for Pegasus will finally begin, where Trippie Redd would drop his first single called Excitement featuring Party Next Door.
You get me so excited. Show you wanna roll with a rock star.
But the song would fail to chart on the Billboard Hot 100s, which is never a good sign, even though the fans were still anticipating Pegasus. In the next month, on June 18, on Trippie Redd's birthday, he would drop his first single for Neon Shark called Dreamer, which was obviously a rock-inspired song and a fire song at that, but it wasn't going to be on the official Pegasus album. So the next song as the lead single he would drop for it would be called I Got You featuring Busta Rhymes, which the song was an interpolation of his 2002 single called You Know What You Want.
Baby, if you give it to me, I'll give it to you. You know that I got you, hey.
Baby, if you give it to me, I'll give it to you. I know what you want, you know I got.
Now when Trippie dropped this as a single, it kinda threw me off at the time, cause I felt like he had way better material in the vault that he could've dropped. But now in hindsight, I realized that his label probably made him drop a song like this thinking it was gonna blow up, cause other artists like Sweetie and Lotto's songs went crazy in that same way too, and they arguably became a household name and made a whole career by an old school song, so it made sense why Trippie's label wanted him to do that. But unfortunately it didn't work, and that song failed to chart too, which if you're familiar with album rollouts, you should know that this should be a worrying sign. And then finally on October 7th, Trippie Redd would drop his last single called Sleepy Hollow before he dropped his album, and the vibe of this song felt more of like a Halloween theme type of track, which made more sense when he announced that he would drop Pegasus on Halloween. But again, his last and third single would not chart from that album either, and he would have officially gone 0 for 3 on the charts with not one song hitting the Billboard Hot 100s. But I guess 10K Projects had enough faith in Trippie, especially after seeing how his last album did, so looking back hindsight, I kinda don't blame him. And Trippie, he's always sold well in his projects, even on exclamation mark when people consider that a flop, he still ended up selling 55K, which isn't the best, don't get me wrong, but it also wasn't that bad either, considering that he didn't have a smash hit song leading up to that album releasing. So it made sense why 10K Projects still had a lot of faith in Trippie, even with the poor performances of the singles. But that might have not been true all the way either, cause Trippie Redd's #1 nemesis and label mate Tekashi 69 would reveal that he had to push his album back due to the label feeling that if Trippie Redd were to drop Pegasus, more than likely it wouldn't gain enough traction for it to be financially viable, basically meaning that 10K Projects wouldn't profit from it and it would flop.
Trippie's album is, we're signed to the same label. They're holding off his album because he doesn't have a single and he sucks, like literally sucks. Like this kid sucks.
Which a lot of Trippie Redd fans did complain that this rollout was going on too long, and a lot of them even did thought the album got pushed back too with the poor singles. But I think what really took a toll on the Pegasus rollout was the leaking of the whole album. Yes, you heard that right, the whole album got leaked, and it turned out it was by a fan page of Trippie's too, which made it even more messed up because he was doing group buys for these songs. And once he got exposed, he was trying to make it seem like that he was trying to pay for his mom's hospital bills, which he obviously lied about, and it showed what type of person he is. And once this got back to Trippie, he was not happy about it.
And I was so big body, like, no, I ain't throwing the album out. No bundles, nothing. I said, fuck that. I ain't giving up on Pegasus because some weird kid leaked it. Some fucking nerd leaked it. I'ma still put it out.
And just when you think when things couldn't get even worse, Trippie Redd would reveal the album cover to Pegasus, which a lot of fans disliked and clowned him for. And it got so bad to a point that he deleted the post shortly after, but he still ended up keeping it as his cover. What a lot of people don't know about this album cover is that it was originally designed by an artist named Keith Rankin, who made a digital version of the Pegasus artwork, and then it was recreated by Trippie Redd's team. And if you ask me, the version that Keith Rankin made was way better than the one that was put out, even though it is kinda weird looking at Trippie Redd like that regardless. But he should have stuck to the original version cause that seems more organic, rather than having Trippie Redd's real body there just looking weird. But anyways, not only the album cover was generating a lot of conversation, but also how long the tracklist was too, which it had over 26 tracks on this album alone. Now if you're a Trippie Redd fan, I can see why you would be excited about that, but only Trippie Redd fans will look forward to listening to 26 whole projects on the full album, cause no casual fans go sit through 26 different Trippie Redd songs. I'm sorry, they're just not. And more than likely a lot of them are filler too. Just a week prior to the release of Pegasus, Trippie Redd's label would drop an EP called Spooky Sounds, where I kid you not, it's just 6 tracks of Halloween sound effects. It was pretty much pointless. I don't know why they decided to drop this or who thought this was a good idea, but this was just stupid right here, and it didn't help the rollout or the anticipation for the album at all. But finally on October 30th, Pegasus will officially be released on all streaming platforms, where it came with a lot of bad reception from fans and critics, especially on the pace of the album and the filler tracks. It was almost as if that Trippie Redd rushed through this project without any care in the world and only gave us a glimpse of his naturally raw talented voice. This album felt like it was Part 2, but only longer. Not only that, but this album was filled with a ton of features that underperformed. You had guest appearances from Chris Brown, Rich the Kid, Young Thug, Future, Lil Mosey, Quavo, Party Next Door, Sway Lee, Doughboy, Sean Kingston, Lil Wayne, Busta Rhymes. There were so many on here, I started to feel like this was a Trippie Redd compilation project, where the album would be under his name, but it would feature so many people on here, you would forget that this was a Trippie album. I felt like this wasn't the same artist who made Life's a Trip, A Love Letter to You 3, or A Love Letter to You 1, cause he really didn't rely on that many features on them projects. He just honed in on his unique voice and it got him to where he was at. But then fast forward to the release of Pegasus, you barely hear any of that on the project, and you're thinking to yourself like, man, did Trippie Redd really lose a step? Does he not got it in him anymore like he used to? Cause that's how I genuinely felt when I listened to this. And don't get me wrong, there is a good amount of songs that I like on Pegasus. It ain't like it's that bad or trash. It's just that the more and more times I listen to this project, the less and less I like it. And it was fair to say that a lot of fans felt the same type of way too. It even notoriously got outstreamed by King Von's Welcome to O-Block album on Apple Music. And at that time, King Von, he just really started to take off. He wasn't on Trippie Redd's level yet. So for that to happen, that was just embarrassing on Trippie Redd's part right there. But even with the mixed reception, the album was still sold over 60,000 copies in the first week, with it debuting at number 2 on the Billboard 200s and accumulating over 79.2 million streams. I think for the lukewarm reception that Pegasus got, it still sold pretty well, especially considering that Ariana Grande dropped that same week too. But obviously as an artist, you're always going to get compared to your last project that you dropped, and of course in every statistic major category, Pegasus did lower than A Love Letter to You 4, and a lot of things went wrong in this whole Pegasus era. But I think overall, and this is just my opinion, it showed Trippie where he was at in his career. After seeing how successful his last project was, he became more comfortable and started dropping mediocre music, which was the result of Pegasus. Not only that, but the passing of X and Juice WRLD might have took a toll on him too. On February 19th, 2021, Trippie Redd would drop his Neon Shark Deluxe, executive produced by Travis Barker, which Trippie says the reason why he got Travis Barker producing this rock album because X recommended it. I mean, Travis Barker, he like a GOAT in the rock world, hip hop space, you feel me? I just wanted to go specifically in that room and really do that stuff. I sat back and watched X do it. I went straight back to where he went. He even notes that Kid Cudi and Lil Wayne gave him some inspiration too. Kid Cudi and Wayne. I definitely listened to their projects and studied and really was just taking game from what they've been doing. I wanted to do it completely different from them, but at the same time I wanted to get some inspiration from them. Neon Shark would have 15 extra tracks and feature artists like Machine Gun Kelly, Black Bear, Chino Marino, Scarlord, and Zilla Kami, and would end up selling 20K in a week of that release, which if you ask me is a massive W, cause Tripp literally switched up genres for this project, and his fanbase still rocked out and listened to their project, which a lot of them say that that's their favorite project that Trippie's released, which goes to show you that Trippie Redd still to this day is underappreciated, not only for his skill and his melodic voice, but also for his genre blending sound, and how he could literally rap for 1 minute and then do a rock Tupac song the next. But this is a little brief video looking back at Pegasus and Neon Shark and why I think a lot of fans didn't like that album overall. But y'all let me know and comment how y'all feel about Pegasus. Do y'all think it's an underrated and underappreciated project that Trippie dropped, or are you on the same sentiment that the album wasn't all that and you prefer his other projects that you rather listen to? Y'all let me know down in the comments. Be sure to like the video, share, subscribe. Have a nice day.